Hi everyone, my name is Brian, and today I'm going to show you how to have a Linux emulator on your Windows environment. And I suppose I should mention that Windows now includes this thing called the Windows Linux subsystem, so you can kind of run Linux tools natively in Windows with their proprietary emulation, but it's not quite what I like. So anyways, you can find this if you go to your Windows features. I just hit my Windows key and type feature because that's how I do things. And if you scroll down here, you will see this folder called Windows Subsystem for Linux. So try it out, see if you like it. Me personally, I got tired of partitioning all of my computers to have a separate Windows host. Using virtual machines just took up too much processing power, and I rather use my virtual machines for testing some of my tools and things. So anyways, you can download the native thing and check it out if you like. But for me, I am going to use what I'm familiar with. So I'm going to go to Chrome here. And I am going to go to Cygwin.com. And this is where you want to go to download Cygwin and use some of the built-in Linux applications. So what you'll want to do is place this installer into a folder that you can use in the future, because what will happen is that anytime you run this, all it really does is it connects to these mirrors where you can select different Linux packages that you might be interested in. So I already downloaded this application and I placed it in my toolkit directory. And just so you're following, it's this directory here, toolkit. I'll open this. Oh, I guess I have it open already. That's my path here, and then I'm going to go to setup files, which is where I placed my Cygwin directory. I'm sorry, my Cygwin installer. So here's my setup files. Here is the installer. So I'm going to go ahead and double click this just so you can kind of get an idea for what this looks like. Alright, so it is loading. I'll hit next. This is a pretty easy install. Just hit next on everything and you should be good. You can select a mirror. If you know your location or know about what area you're next to, you can select a preferred mirror. Me, I don't care. I'm just going to select next and hope for the best. Alright, so it will connect to this mirror and show me what packages exist. So I'll just let this finish really quick. Alright, so this is what the installer looks like. In view, we have pending. I don't have any pending packages. I'll just select full so you can see kind of an idea of what sort of packages exist that you can install. And you know, with Linux you can use apt-get install or geez, I don't remember off the top of my head, yum install and all those other native tools. But yeah, check it out, see if there's anything you like, and if you do like it, what you'll end up doing is, let me just go to Abby Word here, select the drop down and it will give you a few different options. So of course you would have to check the release notes for whatever application you're trying to run to see if there's any sort of issues, but I already got tools that I liked and I already installed it, so nothing's going to change. I'm just going to select next and no changes, but for yours, of course, if it's the first time, you will see this with the changes being made. So I will select next again, and this is going to be a bit more than just how to install Linux, like a Linux emulator of sorts, because I like making my life easy with the way I do things. So it's installed. It creates a shortcut on the desktop. I like to keep my desktop somewhat clean, so I'll go ahead and remove this. And actually, so what I'll do now is if I go back to my toolkit directory, I've built this alias folder. And what that means is that anything that is within my alias folder will be something that I can easily get to by using the run command. So if I want to use my IP scanner, I'll just type Windows R IP scan, and it loads my IP scanner. Same thing with my SSL scanner. I can do a quick test on a host, so I'll just do that really quick. Why not? Let's go to guns.com, pipe it to more, and notice these are Windows commands. So I'll just let that run for a bit and I'll come back to this. So what I want to do is I want to show you how to build an alias for yourself using the native Windows software. So if you right click on this PC and you select properties, it will bring you to this lovely screen here, and then what you want to look for is advanced system settings. If you're using an older computer, it's the same thing, it's just the user interface might be somewhat different. So advanced system settings, and then we are looking for the environment variables. So I will go ahead and select this, and then what we have here, or we have the system variables. So I have path, and this is where all of the fun stuff will happen. So I will go ahead and edit my path variable to include the directory alias. So I added this earlier. You'll probably want to do the same, depending on how you like to do things. I hate clicking through hundreds and hundreds of folders to find something. So what I like to do is I like to build an alias where if I want to run a tool that I appreciate or use quite frequently, I will just use Windows R and I will type Linux, which in this case, Linux will bring up the Cygwin environment that we just installed. So this is just a quick tip for those of you who want to make your life a little bit easier. So remember, load up the advanced system settings, and then look for the path variable, and then edit the path to include your own personal folder where you can keep your shortcuts. So we'll just do a quick comparison. I'll bring up this. Oops, come back. Alright, so this is the path. Okay, so this is the path in that URL bar there. This is users, Brian, desktop, toolkit, alias. These are everything that points to something else. So you will just want to create a shortcut to your application. So IP scan opens up Angry IP. Linux opens up the Cygwin environment we just used. SSL scan loads the SSL scanner tool that I just ran, and then tools just loads up my tools directory that I frequently get to. So just a way of making your workspace a lot more usable for you, and you can definitely customize this however you like. So with the SSL scan that we just ran, let's take a look. Okay, so I ran this command on guns.com, and it just kind of shows me what sort of ciphers they use. I'll just hit spacebar, blah blah blah. So you can kind of see the usability in this is that in creating shortcuts you could just make your life so much easier in just everything. So I'll go ahead and cancel this. I'll go ahead and close this out, and I'll close this out. So the video was really about how to install Linux on Windows, but to extend it a bit more, I mean, that's kind of, shortcuts are amazing. They can make things so easy for you. So let's just say I'm working, there's something on my environment, I'm not sure what it is, it seems to be flooding stuff. So I'll just do Windows R IP scan. Okay, and I'll just do a scan, and it will ping my net mask, my full range, to see what is on this network. And then if I felt like it, I can probe these a bit more to see what is actually happening. Okay, so there's hosts. We can display the ones that are actually active and so forth. Sort by ports. have a few different targets here. I'm not sure what all of these are, but that's okay. So what I want to do is maybe do an SSL scan. Okay, so I brought up my SSL directory here, and I'm going to run SSL lies.exe, and then let me just do a scan of this guy, 10.1.10.106, pipe it to more, and see if we get anything useful, because we see here in the IP scan, these are the ports that are available, 80, 443, 8080. So it's like, is that a proxy? Oh no, that must be a printer. Alright, so this is what we did. Oh no, that's the router. Okay, so we're on a network that uses Comcast. I'm going to page through this. Okay, so it looks like it is using a self-signed certificate, which is not necessarily a problem. It's just that is just the nature of that certificate. So yeah, hopefully this was somewhat useful for you. This is how I configure my Windows environment. I know a lot of people only want to use Linux, only want to use Mac, only want to use Windows, but you know, the more you know and the more flexible you are and able to adapt, the better of a chance that you'll find a job with a good company that will definitely make your day worthwhile. So anyways, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and I hope this was useful for somebody. All right, thanks. Bye.